Good day everyone, we are the Group 4 and I'm Arnellie A. Paden.
I am Cyril, Maderazo.
I am Dexter M. Neri.
I am Niño S. Arbonida.
I'm Jan Tabor.
I am Ruel, Estrada. And I'm Jino B.
Today, we will discuss carbohydrate metabolism. In agriculture, focusing on how plants and animals convert carbohydrates into sustainable, usable energy. We will explore the major biochemical pathways such as glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain, and explain how these processes produce ATP and the energy currency of life. We will also connect these processes to agriculture, including crop production, livestock growth, and energy efficiency in farming systems.
Carbohydrates are the one most important energy source in agriculture. In plants, carbohydrates like glucose and starch are produced through photosynthesis and stored for growth and development. In animals, carbohydrates from feeds such as corn, rice, and grasses are broken down to release energy needed for movement, growth, and meat production. Therefore, carbohydrates metabolism is essential for both plant productivity and animal performance in agriculture.
Carbohydrates are organic macromolecules containing carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen in a 1:2:1 proportion. Carbohydrates are the main source of energy in living organisms. Carbohydrate monomers are simple sugars called monosaccharides. Disaccharides are two monosaccharides bonded together. Monosaccharide and disaccharide names typically end in OSE, such as glucose, fructose, and sucrose. Carbohydrate polymers are called polysaccharides. Polysaccharides include cellulose, starches, and glycogen.
Glycolysis is a first step in carbohydrate metabolism. It occurs in the cytoplasm of cells where one glucose molecule is broken down into two molecules of pyruvate. This process produces a small amount of energy in the form ATP and NADH. Glycolysis is important because it is a starting point of energy produced in both plants and animals.
The first step, glycolysis, is a series of reactions that take place in the cytosol. Glucose is a high-energy molecule, and glycolysis starts the process of extracting that energy from the glucose molecule. Glycolysis requires the input of a glucose and two ATP molecules and puts out 4 ATP, 2 NADH molecules, and 2 pyruvate molecules. So the net ATP production of glycolysis is 2 ATP.
After glycolysis, pyruvate enters the mitochondria and is converted into acetylcholine. This then enters the Krebs cycle, also known as the citric acid cycle. In this cycle, carbon molecules are broken down further, releasing carbon dioxide and transferring energy to NADH and FADH2. The Krebs cycle is essential because it provides high energy molecules that will be used in the next stage of energy production.
The pyruvate oxidation and Krebs cycle both take place in the mitochondria. Each acetyl-CoA goes through the Krebs cycle separately and produces 3 NADH, 1 FADH2, and 1 ATP, or GTP. Since this happens twice, our total production in the Krebs cycle is 6 NADH, 2 FADH2, and 2 ATP. As stated earlier, the NADH and FADH2 will be used in the final step of cellular respiration. And this brings us to our final step.
The electron transport chain in the final stage of cellular respiration. It takes place in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Here, electrons from NADH and FADH are passed through proteins complexes, releasing energy. This energy is used to produce a large amount of ATP. Oxygen is the final electron acceptor, forming water as a byproduct. This stage produces the highest amount of energy for the cell, which is essential for biological functions.
Oxidative phosphorylation and the electron transport chain, or ETC, which also takes place in the mitochondria. Without getting too complex, this step utilizes the NADH and FADH2 to create a concentration of hydrogen ions and electrochemical gradient on one side of a membrane. Now, this sounds complicated, but just think of it like a dam holding a high concentration of water on one side. Our hydrogen ions are like the water. And just as the water pressure of a dam can push a turbine to create energy, the high concentration of hydrogen ions powers a pump to create ATP. The pump in this case is a very efficient enzyme called ATP synthase. For each NADH that goes into the electron transport chain, we get approximately 2.5 ATP out, and for each FADH2, we get 1.5 ATP out. Looking at our totals for a single glucose molecule, we have 10 NADH, 2 from glycolysis, 2 from pyruvate oxidation, and 6 from the Krebs cycle, which yields approximately 25 ATP in the final step of oxidative phosphorylation. We also have 2 FADH2 from the Krebs cycle, which produce 3 more ATP, and finally we have 4 ATP molecules, 2 ATP from glycolysis and 2 ATP from the Krebs cycle, for a grand total of 32 ATP from a single glucose molecule. It's very important to note here that there is a theoretical yield of 38 ATP, but conditions in the cell put the actual yield between 30 and 32 ATP. If you found this video helpful, you'll love Magoo.
Carbohydrate metabolism plays a major role in agriculture. In crops, efficient metabolism supports faster growth, stronger roots, and higher yields. In livestock, carbohydrates from feed are broken down through glycolysis and cellular respiration to produce energy needed for muscle growth, milk production, and reproduction. Feed efficiency is very important in animal production because better metabolism means lower feed cost and higher productivity. Therefore, understanding these pathways helps improve both plant and animal agriculture system.
According to study in agricultural biochemistry, improving energy efficiency in metabolism can help increase food production while reducing waste and environmental impact. Like for example, optimizing animal feed and crop nutrition can improve ATP production efficiency, leading to better growth with fewer resources. In conclusion, carbohydrate metabolism is a vital process in agriculture. It connects biochemical energy pathways and to real-world farming system, affecting the crop yield, animal productivity, and also the sustainability. Understanding these processes help us build a more efficient and sustainable agriculture future.
Thank you for watching.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.